Previously on Danganronpa V2 New World Order.
I feel like this is just me. I feel like this is like, I'm just imagining, like, if you look in the back corner over there, you just see me, like, poking her head around the side. Just like, what does she say? Does she like me? Do I have a chance with her? Hello everyone, and welcome back to Danganronpa V2 New World. God damn it, this title is confusing. Danganronpa V2 New World Order. Where we last left off, we visited my camera room, we did a couple of free time events, and I was told by peers that in order to do the actual love hotel scenes that we'll get in this coming chapter, I have to do the free time event of everyone, like, beforehand. So, this video is going to be something kind of separate, but also the next episode of the series, where I'm going to be basically doing every character's free time events from beginning to end. So, what you're seeing right now is I'm actually back in chapter 1, where I'm playing as Blaze, and I'm going to be doing everyone's free time events from chapter 1 that I missed the first time around, because I think I only did 3, which were Nataliya, Zeke, and MiiYu. But even with that, I'm still going to be doing MiiYu, Zeke, and Nataliya free time events, just so we have a video where we have all of them in it, right? So this video is purely going to be all of the free time events from the first chapter, as well as all the free time events from the second chapter. The third chapter, when that comes out, I will do all the free time events then as well. We're gonna go, I think, in order of, like, actually meeting the characters. So, I'm currently playing as Blaze, but I will play as Nataliya in the second chapter, and I'm going to be cutting this video up so that instead of me doing everyone's free time events, like, from chapter by chapter, it's going to be cut up. So for example, I'm going to go with Sigmund first, and with Sigmund, I'm going to first do Sigmund's first free time event, then I'm going to do his second free time event from the second chapter. So I'm going to be doing it character by character instead of chapter by chapter. So, let's, and there will also, just so you know, there will also be timestamps below for each section of this video. So, let's get right into it. First of all, Sigmund. Ah, a visitor. Fancy bumping into each other while out on separate evening strolls. Though since you're sticking around, I presume you wish to engage in healthy intellectual discourse? Something like that. I was wondering if I could learn a bit more about you. Were you now? This is most interesting. A teacher and a philosopher walk into a park. I wonder what the punchline would be for such a quaint scenario. Let's find out at once. So, you're a philosopher, eh? Blaze, Blaze, Blaze. I thought we already established that. That was a prompt for you to say something about yourself. Ah, was it now? Then why did you not simply ask something along the lines of, what does being a philosopher entail? Such questionable wording. Quite unbecoming of the ultimate teacher, if I may say so. No, you may not! Okay, let's try this again. What does being a philosopher entail? Such shameless plagiarism. I like it. Philosophy is the art of thinking. Thinking is what distinguishes us from more base creatures like sea sponges and plankton. It is what defines our very humanity. I can't say I wasn't expecting him to answer like this. So what's the difference between normal thinking and philosophical thinking? I would say that a hallmark of philosophical thinking, God, I can't say that! Philosophical thinking is that it seeks to extend the boundaries of human knowledge. Knowledge isn't a pit. Knowledge is a ladder. Each additional rung simply extends the depths at which humans may soar. Quite similar to teaching, is it not? No matter what stage of human advancement you find yourself in, there is always more to learn. I certainly can't disagree with that. One more thing. How does your staff fit into this? My staff? Let us start with the order. It is a reflection of my current state of mind. That is one cloudy orb. Indeed, There is no such thing as a human mind that operates with perfect clarity. In fact, at any given point in time, humans function on only about 10% of their brain's capacity. 10% of their potential. As a pioneer of humanity, that fact saddens me. Interesting. What about the rest of your stuff? Does the wood have special powers? Is it modeled after something significant? I was just wondering why you carry it around with you all the time. He stopped abruptly as his mouth, words echoing as he spoke. There's a time and a place for everything, but not now. When the time is right, and the information I shall share. I'm not trying to ride a bike, though. Haha, nice! I was about to say! That's exactly what they say in Pokemon when you're trying to ride a bike in like a building or something. And I'm like, oh, is that the reference? Yes, it is the reference. Wait, what am I thinking? Now, if I may ask, what is your view on philosophy? I should think carefully about what I say here. Right. It's complicated. Indeed it is. That's not what oh, whatever. By definition, philosophy is a fine art that delves into the complexities of human existence. Your response is only restricted to what we already know. Oh, what?! That was the worst one! I try not to think about it! Ah, but in saying so, you just inadvertently contemplated it, did you not? Emphasis on inadvertently. As a teacher, I prefer to make the complex simple. Philosophers try to do the exact opposite of that. Not necessarily, though I think I understand your point. Ah, the fundamental professional differences. I certainly did not consider that. Interesting. It went well. Oh, wait, what was the last one? Was the last one... Questions naturally seek to extend. Oh, that was the best one, okay. Right, so the best one was Path to Deeper Self, sorry. I think philosophy is humanity's ticket to a deeper state of self. Oh? Could I clarify what you mean by this? Philosophy is about asking questions, is it not? Questions naturally seek to extend the boundaries of human knowledge. If we agree that knowledge is enriching, then the possibilities that knowledge can provide are endless. Maybe someday we'll be able to definitively answer the enduring questions of life using knowledge established in philosophical thought. This is beginning to feel suspiciously like English class. You really do have a habit of exceeding my expectations. Looks like that conversation went extremely well. Please? Yes, Sigmund? Do not let your brilliant mind go to waste. With you at its helm, the great family of education is sure to prosper. I look forward to cooperating with you as a fellow great man. Thank you, Sigmund. That was a great conversation. Sometimes a little maturity offers a great change of pace. Indeed. You know what else offers a great change of pace? Goodbye, Sigmund. Was he about to say what I think he is? Hurriedly part ways. Seems like he's having a bit of time. He wasn't actually about to say what I think he was gonna say. Oh boy. Okay, so, what I might do is, I did Zeke, MiiYu, and, who did I do last episode? I did, Zeke, MiiYu, Sigmund, and, Mona last episode. So I think as part of this video, I'm gonna go back to those clips that were in the previous episode, and, I'll play them now for you all.
This supposed insight into the subconscious, could a single room truly capture the essence of the human soul?
Spent some time with Sigmund.
Well, look who it is. I have a few theories about the way the room could feasibly work, if you would care to listen.
You spent some time listening to Sigmund's increasingly far-fetched theories. It seems Sigmund and you have gotten a little closer.
So, what do you think?
I don't even know where to start.
Let us begin with the first theory, that the room is based on a form of advanced brain scan, and this scan is somehow able to capture repressed memories and desires, then transpose them into images.
Would such a thing even be possible with modern technology?
I'm afraid that's not my area of expertise. I deal with social sciences, Nataliya. The way people relate to each other. The fundamental rules that govern society since well before the advent of technology.
So we don't have the means to confirm this theory, at least for now.
Then there's the next theory, that the room is a placebo of sorts, made to deceive us into thinking that what it projects is related to our subconscious. But in turning our minds to it, it then becomes ingrained into our subconscious. I suppose the sociological equivalent of that would be the self-fulfilling prophecy.
So, Deska. The concept is also explored in various labeling theories. Label someone a criminal, and even if it's factually untrue, they're more likely to become involved in a crime.
Fascinating. You seem to have a rather advanced understanding of human behavior, Nataliya.
I know I may not look it, but I'm still a warden. If my prisoners are released but then come back in later, I want to know why.
Such strong intellectual principles. How admirable of you.
I don't think the room was a placebo, though. Zeke's reaction was rather unambiguous. It clearly meant something to him.
Quite right, quite right. That just leaves us with...
I should probably interrupt before he starts talking about those theories. I have a theory of my own. Hold on a minute. I have a theory of my own. What if Kilmore or whoever it is that's controlling the room did some research into us? Then it'd just be a matter of using information they pre-prepared ahead of time.
That's a surprisingly valid theory. How long were you holding that in?
Surprisingly? Please, Sigmund can at least give me some credit.
You've left me with plenty of food for thought. I'd best be on my way.
Yeah, nice! First try! Looks like that conversation went excellently. It seems I still have a bit of free time. What should I do now? Right, next is Eden. Let's do this. Blaze. It seems the Divine Eye's prediction was correct. How'd you know I'd be... Oh, yeah. A chance encounter or something else? The Divine Eye says no more. I simply answer the summons. I presume you wish to talk to me about something? About before. Shh, I thought I told you to keep it under wraps until the time is right. And when will that be? It raised so many questions. You can't just leave it like that. Blaze, do you trust in my abilities? And perhaps more importantly, do you trust in me? Personally, you've given me no reason to distrust you. Fine, I'll place my faith in your judgment. That's all I'd ask. Now, do you have need of my services? Perhaps you'd like to have your future divined. Oh, are you able to do that? Not for anyone here. The Divine Eye seems rather adverse when it comes to skill. Skill? You are all exceptionally talented people, whereas the Divine Eye exists to create a state of equilibrium. What would happen if you gave already talented people the ability to fully realize their own fate? Point taken. Though, I do think you were able to assist the ultimate humanitarian in his endeavors. Was he not also skilled? There are two reasons for that. Firstly, humanitarianism is not an ultimate ability that relies on skill, not in the slightest. Rather, it is determined by the individual's capacity to feel compassion and to empathize with the plight of others. That could be considered a skill in and of itself, though. Apparently not to the Divine Eye. Secondly, as a humanitarian, it was not uncommon for him to surround himself with the destitute, the weary, the huddled masses. Those who, after the formation of the World Empire, were left with nothing. This is precisely the sort of imbalance that the Divine Eye seeks to overturn. I've also been meaning to ask, what is this Divine Eye exactly? It's a very difficult question to answer. It is the past, it is the present, and sometimes it is the future. It is the source of much of my spiritual powers. Though someone like Levitica would call it divine guidance. Similarly, someone like Sigmund would label it heightened intuition. Perhaps they're wrong, perhaps they're right. In the end, who can say? The word divine certainly complicates things, doesn't it? Divine is short for divination. Formally, it would be called the Eye of Divination. Divine Eye just sounds cooler though. It keeps the customers entertained at least. I see. So bottom line is, the Divine Eye is completely indifferent to our situation. In its own way, that is a brand of mercy. If the Divine Eye truly cared about equilibrium, we would all be dead by now. Our power is strong enough to lead an empire. Is it truly right for us to have this much, while others are left with so little? Spoken like a true humanitarian. I'm glad you think that. I should think carefully of what I say next. You look up to Eden, nodding vigorously. Are you planning to sabotage us? Achieving balance? How exactly do you achieve a state of balance? You mean speaking as someone with excess of talent? The answer's simple. Just do what you're already doing. What did Robin Hood go do to the riches in his quest for his... Blah, 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 blah. What did Robin Hood do to the rich in his quest for equilibrium? He stole from them to give to the poor. He stole from them to give to the poor. Now, I'm not saying you should be sitting there leaking brain power to your students or something equally wacky tobacco. Wacky tobacco? You simply need to share the information around to spread the talent. Put simply, it's about helping people, Blaze. Ever since we met, I've felt a strange connection to you. Now the reason is clear. Our talents and the act of altruism, as a pair, they are simply inseparable. Guess I really shouldn't be expecting a different answer from the Canada Parade. You really shouldn't. And for the last time, it's AIDS. Someone like me should be able to correct a teacher. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. Oh, cool, I got it right the first time. Well, I mean, that easy. The other two were extremely rude. Tell you what, how about this? When we get out of here, I'll tell you the winning numbers for the next lottery. No need to worry about payment. It's on the house. But I thought you said that you needed to maintain equilibrium. And thus I can't read your fortune. Something as simple as the lottery, though. That would qualify as a general reading. Therefore, the Divine Eye is more than willing to make an exception. Does it really work like that? And how are you rich already? Oh, please, there's only so much you can do with money. In the brushes and part ways. Okay.
I'll be honest here. I'm kind of worried about Zeke.
Right, now we actually get proper voice actors so I can give my voice a rest. Yeah.
Well, if it isn't my favorite warden, would you like a general reading? It's on the house.
Some time passes as Eden gives you a reading. It seems you and Eden have gotten a little closer. Eden, was the reading supposed to be that general?
Not necessarily. But the stars can be rather fickle, you know?
About these stars of yours, do they have anything to say about the situation, even if it's general?
What did you have in mind?
Maybe a way to escape, or if not, anything we could do to create exits for ourselves?
The Divine Eye has been stubborn in its refusal to provide us with anything meaningful in that area. I'm not surprised it still hasn't changed.
Strange. Come to think of it, sometimes you say stars and other times you say Divine Eye. Are they meant to be different concepts?
It's complicated. The easiest way to think of it would be that the terms are interchangeable, but the Divine Eye and the stars are not one and the same. Sometimes the Divine Eye seems especially attuned to the stars, other times it isn't.
Just wondering, what does it represent exactly?
Many things. The past, the present, and the future. But long story short, I can use both the Divine Eye and the stars to try and gaze into the future.
Whoops, wrong button.
It's helped me change the fortunes of the poor and destitute on many occasions.
Sordiska. That still seems terribly complex.
Besides, even if I can't see anything, that room's supposed to have us covered. The bicameral room, was it?
Bicameral. Why do I have a sudden craving for sweets?
Just wondering.
Bicaramel, right.
What do you make of that room exactly?
Wait, did she say bicaramel? Yeah, oh, she did say bicaramel. Okay, I didn't realize. I should think carefully about what I say here. I still say we use the stars. I still say we should use the stars. God, that's really hard for my lists. Eden? Some time passes as you stand there in silent contemplation. Oh, it ended well? Okay, that wasn't the right... It's our only option. It's our only option. At least for now.
Aye. Sometimes fate operates in mysterious ways, doesn't it? I bet I'm beginning to sound awfully like Levitica, aren't I?
You say that as if it's a bad thing.
I've got nothing against the girl, don't get me wrong. She just has this certain air about her, doesn't she?
You and her both.
I guess for now, all we can do is buckle in and see where that room takes us.
spend some more time discussing the bicameral room. Yeah, conversation ended excellently. What should I do now? Alright, next was Phoenix. Let's do this. Who is it? And at this hour, too? What is my name? Phoenix. What is my profession? Doctor. Where do I want to work? McDonald's. 2 out of 3. Questionable score, but passable. Very well, you may come in. Which one did I get wrong? Sorry, just had to make sure that you weren't my arch nemesis. Oh yeah, I should be doing his free time events, because maybe he'll explain what the bloody arch nemesis stuff's all about. You can never be too sure. Robotic bears creeping around and all. Yeah. I wonder if they're listening in right now. You feel a sudden chill run down your spine as you say this. So if you're not my arch nemesis, and you're not here to kill me, then what are you here for? Ouch, I'm already being suspected of murder, huh? About that, actually. What's this whole deal with you? Yes, please explain it! I need to know, I missed this, please! Please explain it. What's this whole deal with your arch nemesis about? He's the man who hides in the shadows, ensuring that whenever I try to reach happiness, reality sets and everything comes crashing down. Are you sure that's not just, well, reality? As positive as my health prognosis. I thought the same thing as you at some point. That was before I caught glimpses of him in all my photos. My yearbook, my formal, my graduation, even when I was on holiday overseas. He's everywhere. In fact, right when I was about to select McDonald's as my career path, I felt a shiver run down my spine. He wanted me to know that he was there. Fearing for my life, I quickly chose another path at random. And thus I became a doctor. You became a doctor completely by chance. What the heck? I know, right? I'm only where I am now through complete chance. Who knows? If I clicked on philosophy, then maybe I'd be the one walking around here with a staff. Now that would be a sight for sore eyes. About your arch nemesis. What is it? I should think carefully about what I say next. Oh god, what do I say? Doesn't exist? I'm gonna get this wrong. I'm still not convinced that your arch nemesis exists. Oh, laugh at me all you want, I'm used to it. I have no intention of laughing at you. I'm saying this is more out of concern than anything else. I think something else must have happened to you, something that you've yet to reveal. And as a result, you're using the arch nemesis as cover because the truth is too difficult to comprehend. Sorry about that. Psychoanalysis was never really my forte. You are a fascinating patient. Most fascinating. Remind me to give you a lollipop the next time you visit. You think? Okay, that wasn't the best one. McDonald's? Hey, Phoenix. I was just wondering, is there any reason why you can't work at McDonald's on the side? Surely being a surgeon takes up all my time! Pardon? Some nights I'm so busy that I barely have enough time to breathe, let alone eat. And you're asking me why I can't get a part-time job at McDonald's? It's a nightmare, I tell you! Why don't you just take Sundays off? Or any day, really? True that my Sundays are quite free as it is. It's my designated non-serious day where patients are free to come to me with their small problems. You know what? I'll have to seriously think about this. Yeah! Nice! Okay, second try. Hey, Blaze. Yes, Phoenix? I'm not used to having so much free time here. All this time to play around with, yet nothing productive to do with it. At least that's what I thought during the first night. Oh? I've been brainstorming a recipe for my very own McWappy burger. If it's okay with you. I would be delighted if you would be willing to try it out when we get out of here. This is all so bananas, and yeah, I'm just so accustomed to it. I'm just like, I'm so used to this game's batshit crazy dialogue that it just doesn't faze me anymore. The pleasure will be all mine, Phoenix. Thank you. Is there anything stopping you from serving it in here? We appear to be suffering from a chronic shortage of burger patties. I checked earlier. Couldn't you just use toast? Patties it is! I'll be looking forward to having a taste when we get out. Already part ways. The time is, I believe, Phoenix was next? Okay. So... let's go talk to him.
Kids these days with their weird Tetris obsessions, why can't we obsess over something more normal? Like what the next McDonald's burger will be.
Spend some Phoenix? Sure, why not?
I wasn't expecting a visitor at this hour. but let it not be said that I would turn away a patient in need. What seems to be the problem?
Before you can protest, you somehow end up consulting with Phoenix. It seems Phoenix and you have gotten a little closer. What a remarkably thorough approach. Say, Phoenix-kun, what made you become a doctor in the first place?
Isn't it obvious? It was my arch nemesis.
His arch nemesis? I wonder about that. Your arch nemesis seems to be very weird. Why would they go out of their way to make sure you help people?
What do you mean?
Of all the things your arch nemesis could do to you, why would they make you become a doctor? Wouldn't holding civilians hostage and blowing up buildings be a more typical modus operandi, Nyan?
No, Nat, don't fall for it. It may look like a good thing, but being a doctor takes up all my time. I can barely keep up with the latest burgers.
But you enjoy being a doctor? Interesting. Tell you what, how about I help you do a little investigating? Let's see if we can uncover the identity of this arch nemesis together.
It's very kind of you to offer, Nataliya, but my arch nemesis, they're not someone who can be easily found. I've searched long and far, but they always seem to be just out of my grasp.
Just as I thought.
But enough about my arch nemesis. What did you think of my burger?
The one from this morning? Should be careful what I say here. Tasted excellent. If I could summarize your burger in one word, Subarashi!
Subarashi? I suppose you've made your sentiment clear. That's 1 point to me, arch nemesis. How do you like them apples?
Yeah, nice, okay. Just being nice. Honesty is the best policy.
Come to think of it, Dash didn't seem to like it that much. Rubbing it all over the carpet probably didn't help the flavor, you'd think.
Yeah, Dash is a bit of an interesting one, but I'm sure he means well. At least I think he does.
Very well. Allow me to make a promise. The next time we have a club meeting, I'll make a burger so good, it'll knock Dash's socks off.
Such intense resolve. I can't wait to see what you come up with,
It's a promise,
Nyan.
then.
I'm glad that these are voiced because the voice actors for this game are underappreciated. They really are all fantastic people. Next, I think, is Levitica, so let's do her. Knock. Come in, dear lamb. Don't mind if I do. I sense a disturbance overtaking your countenance. Are you feeling unwell? Is there something disrupting the flow of your thoughts? Other than our situation? Not really. I was just hoping to get to know you a bit better, that's all. Get to know me? That would be blasphemous. I shan't accept this. What? But it's only natural in our situations that we familiarize ourselves with each other's company. My dear Blazed, why would you like to better understand me when there are many gods that are more deserving of your attention? You can't exactly say I wasn't expecting that. Being so selflessly devoted to the gods, doesn't that get exhausting after a while? It is my solemn duty. My own feelings matter not. Okay, let's talk around it then. About your philosophy, why is it that you follow gods? That is a simple enough question to answer. I follow all gods because I owe one of them a debt of gratitude. A debt? What sort of debt? When I was younger, I was in a far more pitiable state than I am right now. I don't think you're pitiable right now, though. Not in the slightest. If I had my staff with me, then I'd be inclined to agree with you. Anyhow, at this very difficult stage in my life, there came a day when I could suddenly see with perfect clarity and single out a certain Christian verse. My power was certainly made perfect in weakness. Wait, are you suggesting that you were blind before then? In more ways than one. Even now I am still told I walk with the eyes of a blind girl. Wow. So when that moment came, I was directed to a field where I knew I would find something of use. I dug and dug until my fingers bled, until I uncovered it. My staff. Ever since, I've seen it as my holy mission to convey the power of the Gospels to the lost and weary masses. Quite the incredible story. Though, I'm still surprised that you claim to be an adherent to all religious faiths. What is your reason for this? You said it was only one God that saved you, right? That too has a simple answer. The identity of that most providential of deities was never revealed. I can only assume that this was their intention. They knew that if I was aware of their identity, I would foolishly choose to serve only them at the expense of all else. To answer before listening, that is folly and shame. I see. Forgive my impudence, but may I ask you a personal question? Sure. have you ever felt the need to confess? This is, of course, taking into account your atheist worldview. Think carefully before answering. Yes, rather not talk. Yes, but I'd rather keep the information to myself if that's okay. Of course, that is more than fine. What's more important is that you are honest to yourself. When you are ready to share, just know that I will be ready to receive. Yes, there have been times in the past where I made the wrong decisions. And because of this, I caused pain and suffering to other people who trusted me. Are you sure? What do you mean? I am merely conveying what the Whispers have said. They are not necessarily straightforward, but they always try to direct the listener to the truth. I can only implore you to reconsider your current standing. So the conversation went, oh, thank God, it went well! Alright. Well, I thought that was leading me down. It was like leading me down the wrong path. It was like, oh, you should reconsider now. You should kill yourself now, or something like that. And then it turns out it's the best one. Okay. Anyway, I must now engage in one of my daily prayer rituals. Would you like to join? Sure. Does it matter if I'm not religious? Not in the slightest. This particular god does not discriminate on the basis of religious affiliation. Affiliation, that's right, or lack thereof. Anyone can pray to him. So, how does the prayer go? Oh god, it's playing her theme. As follows. She raised her arms and swung them slowly back and forth. Okay, what next? You whisper the words of prayer, and they are... 5 minutes pass, you engage in prayer. You leave feeling reinvigorated, your clothing a minimally different shade of colour. Looks like it's still a bit of time. As well, oh, Levitica is here, okay.
To be so spiritually disturbed by a video game. I wonder what the gods would make of such tomfoolery.
Some Levitica?
What is it, dear lamb? You are in need of my counsel? Then let us begin by listening to the wise words of the most benevolent gods.
Some time passes as you listen to Levitica recite various scripture passages. It seems you and Levitica have gotten closer. Levitica, I've been meaning to ask, why do you treat me the way you do?
Can I clarify what you mean by that statement, dear lamb?
When I feel uncertain about many things and about myself, you would often be here for me, providing a level head. But why would you go out of your way for someone like me?
I must profess that it was not my direct intention to be there for you in particular. I go only where the Whispers guide me.
I see.
Perhaps the Whispers were drawn to your sense of justice. If I were to offer my humble opinion, it is perhaps one of the purest I have ever seen.
But my actions nearly got us all killed, and I still executed an innocent person.
And to your sins you have confessed, before everyone, gods and mortal alike. Justice is not merely something to be measured by the quality of one's actions. Perfection simply does not exist in this world as the gods have created it. Why strive to achieve what the gods themselves have decreed to be impossible?
Say, Levitica.
Yes, dear lamb.
I should be careful about what I say next. Thinking of becoming a Pastafari, what drives you? What drives you?
I fear you shall be disappointed by the sheer simplicity of my answer.
As long as it's the truth, I don't care what your answer is. Yeah, okay, good.
Ever since I was young, I have lived with the pain of suffering, both through myself and vicariously through the lives of others. Do you know what I have come to realize in that time, dear lamb? Our greatest enemy comes not in the form of some malevolent god, but in ourselves.
Right.
Since the day I expunged my own demons from my soul, I have felt a certain clarity. That is why I think it is important to make peace with yourself. If everyone was able to do this of their own volition, then perhaps even something like my staff would become redundant. But perish the thought. It is nothing but an outlandish fancy.
Make peace with myself, huh? After spending more time listening to Levitica, you decide to go back to your room. Okay, cool. I'm doing pretty well this time. Okay, boy, oh boy, here we go. Where's Hun? Let's see what we do next. Ah, comment, please! Have you come to join me on my run? If so, run with vigor. I need to feel your spirit. That's not what I'm here for, actually. Oh? Then what brings you to this posh little abode? I'm just here to talk to you, ultimate to ultimate. I see.
That is most acceptable. Fuck's sake, they're playing frigging Rule Britannia again. Any gentleman of the Great British Empire should be ready for casual conversation at any moment. Especially when tea and biscuits are concerned. It's official, I'm at the point where I need to constantly remind myself that he's not British. I see you have a lot of respect for British convention. Affirmative. A great British leader must have respect for great British traditions, no? I think this goes a bit beyond what could be considered mere respect. So, how are you handling things? Rather easily. I have a simple routine which I'm trying to follow every day. Ah, that's good. A routine, huh? Yep. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and 10 kilometers of running every day, 7 days a week. A great routine, that one. It's apparently supposed to supercharge your fists. When did you do that today? When we were searching for our immediate environs, comrade. I made sure Comrade Zeke gave it a go too. For a basement dweller, his stamina was certainly impressive. He still couldn't finish the workout without collapsing, though. But no excuses. I'm finishing the run right here, right now. Can't believe I'm saying this, but poor Zeke. Fuck Zeke. Anyway, it's nice to see you're mostly taking our situation in stride. But of course! Every revolution in history has been met with some kind of resistance. But like all examples of resistance, the spies shall be found. He speaks as if it's a game. Okay, let's try something else. What made you decide to become a personal trainer? That's easy, comrade. It's because I've got the perfect exercise regimen designed for all my slaves. I know exactly what they need to do to be in good health and the easiest way to do it. Why, I could even propose such a schedule for a loud session yourself right now if you wanted. I think I'll pass. Preposterous! Do you really care so little about your own health? Though I suppose that's none of my business. This is certainly different from my tenure as General of the Labour Party's military branch. Oh, you used to be a general? Yes, my skills were, by all accounts, unparalleled. You know what I used to tell my men before they charged over the top of the trenches? Run in a straight line, single file. It'll throw the enemy off, and in that second of hesitation, our Air Force will bombard their trench line with a year's supply of the best quality Great British tea. No one can resist our glorious tea. Many a bloodless revolution was made possible through such means. The glory, the honor, it was most fabulous! So, the way to an Englishman's heart really is through tea, huh? Englishman? Can confirm. Well, to the heart of a non-English Englishman, anyway. I should think carefully about what I say next. Fuck. Alright. I jumped back, I didn't mean to press that. Okay. I don't know. Not still the general? I kind of want to ask. I take it you aren't the general anymore? That would be because... Yes? I refuse to share such confidential information with a lout such as yourself. Come back on your better training, body and soul. I figured that would be bad. Right. Tea recommendations? Any recommendations? You showing an interest in tea, are we? I didn't have you for a man of refined taste. Well, we learn something new every day, I guess. So true, comrade, so true. If you ever visit our headquarters, I'll be happy to serve you some of our special Twinings brand tea. And of course, if you prefer a lighter, sweeter flavor, there's always Lipatone. Thanks for the offer. Oh, looks like the conversation went excellently. You're certainly an impressive specimen, aren't you? Not even an ounce of Britain to be found in you, and you're still a remarkable person from top to bottom. I would be honored to call you my comrade. You've already been doing that. On that note, why do you call people comrade? I wasn't aware that was a British thing. That! As a result of my tenure overseas, during which time I met the esteemed Comrade Lemon, he told me everything I know about the revolutionary spirit.
Though such an ideal runs contrary to the notion of slavery, it is nevertheless a most fabulous concept. Therefore, I thought it appropriate of my work as a personal trainer. To me, exercising embodies the revolutionary spirit that Lemon told me about. You exercise to free your mind, to free your body from the shackles of everyday life. Do it consistently enough and you'll be shaking off chains that you didn't even know existed. That honestly sounds incredible. I should liven my lifestyle up a bit. As a comrade of the 50th batch, knowing that you are considering such an idea is enough for me. Sweet. I thought you decided to part ways. Right. Park, right? Yeah, here he is.
Comrade Zeke continues to amaze me. With the never-ending skeletons in his closet.
Spend some time with Hun. Stay. Sure.
Oh ho ho! Let's see some backbone, comrade.
Some time passes as Hunt takes you through a basic exercise routine. It seems you and Hunt have gotten a little closer.
You're really good at this, comrade.
Are we just going to ignore how badly I bombed the push-ups?
I was getting to that. Work on your technique and you should be fine and dandy. Observe!
You watch the way Hunt positions his body on the ground, and try to do the same.
What was that?
I tried.
But your technique with everything else is flawless. How is this even possible?
Maybe I'm just bad with push-ups, Nyan.
Preposterous. Let us do it again. From the start now.
Once again you try to imitate Hunt's positioning, and once again you fail.
We'll continue these exercises next time. I'll see if I can devise a simpler method for teaching it to you.
How simple is push-ups? It's not like you don't have to learn to do push-ups. You just gotta put your hands on the ground and then like lift your body up by your toes. It's that easy, right? He hasn't given up on me. Why are you even trying so hard, Hunt?
Isn't it obvious? I want all of my slaves to be in perfect working order. The Great British Empire demands it. Okay. Dismissed.
I should think carefully about what I say next. Wait, let's talk.
Talk, comrade? About what exactly?
Let's see. Do you have any interests or hobbies? Something you do to fill the time, Nyan?
There is one thing. Have you heard of the Spluncian Explorers case?
I think I have. Aye! What is
The
it?
precise facts vary depending on the version you consult. But here's my favorite one. 5 explorers are trapped in a cave. There are still 10 days to go until they are rescued. But in the meantime, they are sure to starve. So, they hold a lottery and, based on the results,
Ooh.
one of them is killed and eaten. Have they committed a murder? And, if so, should they be judged accordingly in the eyes of the law?
You have some interesting hobbies, Hun-kyun. I don't really have an answer, I'm afraid.
Ah, so you're a Justice Tatum.
Even if it's a hypothetical, I don't think it's my position to judge. I'll leave that to the people in the wigs and fancy suits, Nyan.
A reasonable response, given your position in the executive. Very well. Thank you for indulging me, comrade.
So he cares about the separation of powers? Yeah, okay, I'm nailing this one! Shortly after you parties, you head back to the cafeteria. Okay, I already did Zeke, but I'm gonna do him again just for this video because I kind of need a refresher. Knock knock. Come in! Oh hey, if it isn't Sir himself! You didn't get lost on the way back to your own room, did you? Why am I doing this to myself? Okay, first of all, I wouldn't knock if I thought this was my room. More importantly, there's no need to call me Sir. I hate it, actually. Ah, really? That would make you a pretty extraordinary teacher. So why are you here if it isn't the power trip on the kid with the laptop in class? I'm here because I wanted to talk, if that's okay with you. It isn't. Just kidding! So I noticed how every room's been fitted with a computer. Have you tried yours? Don't get your hopes up. I know I did. Boy, was I disappointed. It's like kindergarten all over again. Why? What happened? First off, there was no internet. So zero hopes of contacting the outside world. Such a shame. And what else? I couldn't score a single point in Pac-Man. Boy, do I suck. That's the bit where you usually add a just kidding, right? Getting smart with me, are you? Do you know why I'm called the ultimate esports gamer? Because you're good at games? If that were the case, I'd be called the ultimate gamer. I think I know what you're trying to get at. You're great at competitive gaming, but not so much when it comes to single-player games, am I right? Wow, getting dissed by someone as decrepit as yourself. Yes, they make some good meds at your local pharmacy, huh? Okay, for the last time, I'm the same age as you. I'll start believing that when Nexuses begin exploding into millions of little pieces. Just kidding! It's going nowhere. What about your philosophy, Zeke? My philosophy, you say? You should talk to Sigmund about that. He loves his philosophy. I'd expect this sort of crap from Virginia, though I'm not exactly surprised. Okay, I'll humor you. The TLDR version is that I like challenging myself. Is there anything wrong with that? I think I should be careful what I say here. Oh, I don't remember this, what? I don't remember this isn't how it went, was it? Or did we get 2 free time events? No, challenges are important. Yes and no. Challenging yourself is important to an extent, but sometimes it's simply smarter to take the easier option. There's no shame in it. Ew, that comment was borderline inting. Excuse me? I didn't think you were a fence sitter. Indecisive people are the bane of my existence. So many games were nearly thrown because people were undecided for the chalk calls. I thought you enjoyed a challenge. Isn't that the sort of thing you'd want? I was talking about the enemy team. Oh, for fuck's sake. Alright. No, challenges are important. No, you're right. It's important to challenge yourself. What the fuck? Who are you? What have you done with the real old man? Hey, I'm a teacher. It's not surprising that my philosophy is quite similar to yours, but it is pretty frightening, though. True. Not to mention the online environment is epic for trying out new things. Things which wouldn't be possible in real life. Like poisoning your enemies and getting away with it for starters. I do it IRL, but they don't let you play games in the prisons where I'm from. Just kidding. So this conversation went excellently. Cool. Tell you what. Let's play a game. A game? Yep, the rules are simple, but you might want to listen closely in case your pills start wearing off. It's called hide and seek. I'll hide, you seek. Got it? Is there a point to this? You'll see. Oh, right, I remember this. I had to find him outside the window. That's what pressurized, but I don't know, here I come. Find Zeke. Yeah, I had to. He was outside the window, right? No way! You rushed towards the windows and opened it. Ah, you found me! I was beginning to worry there for a second! A little help here? You put him back inside. That was insanely stupid! You could have died! Ah, if I had an infinity edge for every time someone said that to me. How is it supposed to teach me anything? You risked your life for nothing! He started ushering me to the door as I spoke. Hey! Blaze, the next time you play hide and seek, I can guarantee you'll check the most dangerous spots first. Who knows? Might even save someone's life. You retreat back into the cafeteria in silence. It's a quick time. Right. Zeke is next, but I already did him, so just play that clip. So first of all, Zeke.
Tetris.
Tetris.
Why'd it have to be Tetris?
Why did it have to be Tetris? Spend some time with Zeke. Stay.
Oh, hey Nat. What brings you here at this time?
Some time passes as you end up discussing literally everything except Tetris. It seems you and Zeke have gotten closer.
Hey Nat, I must know. Are you a gamer girl?
Why is this whole bit voice acted? Okay. A gamer grill? Are you asking if I play video games? Yep. I do play some video games on the side. Perhaps a bit too much considering the amount of work I usually have to deal with.
I see.
I see.
Can't say I'm surprised. Just thinking to our gaming session from earlier. You were low-key carrying your team a few times.
Hmm? Is he actually complimenting me?
Emphasis on few, BTW. Most of the time you were just feeding me ult charge.
And there it is.
Yo, Nataliya, about the trial.
Are you sure you want to talk about it?
I'm good if you're good.
Then let's proceed. But if I may, what exactly was your relationship with Blaze?
Wow. You make it sound like we were lovers or something.
No! I mean, how'd you know him? You know, before all this happened.
That was all a joke, BTW.
Huh?
Yep. I was just kidding about knowing him.
Were you really? I don't believe that for a second.
Anyways, let's not talk about the trial anymore.
You were the one who brought it up. Okay, how about the bicameral room?
Okay, I changed my mind.
Oh no, you don't! You obviously don't like Tetris. But why?
There once was a point in time where I was winning every 1v1 match I was put in. MOBAs, FPSs, RTSs, it didn't matter. Everyone else was a noob, and I was the king of video games. Or so I thought.
But then something happened involving Tetris?
One day, this kid in my class walked up to me. "Let's see if you can beat my high score in Tetris," he said. I had no choice but to accept, of course. The result was what you saw in the room today. Well, I can't even stack a single row in Tetris.
I should think carefully about what I say here. The weird thing is, I think that wow, you suck is probably the right option. Well, I've saved just in case, but here we go. Wow, you suck.
Kick.
Kick.
Big words coming from someone who can't even left click half the time.
But at least I can stack up some rows in Tetris.
Wow. You really go for the jugular, don't you? I should verse you in a fighting game sometime.
Yes! I knew that was right! I knew that pissing him off was right. I knew that, like, bullying him was right.
Don't think this is over, Nat. By the time we escape, I promise you, I'll have beaten you in a straight 1v1. I swear it on my gamer tag.
It's a promise then. Sweetness. And on that note, you decided to part ways. It seems I still have a bit of free time. What should I do now? Alright. Okay, Florence is next. She's right here in the cafe. Oh, a visitor. At this hour? I thought it'd just be me and Dash around, but this place sure is seeing a lot of activity. Ah, Blaze, welcome. I thought you'd be a bit sick of seeing my face after a whole day of gallivanting around together. Was I mistaken? So she finally looked up. Yes, you are. Earlier we were walking around because we drew the same lots. We didn't have a choice, but now... You're a smooth talker, Blaze. Real smooth. Do you know who else is a smooth talker? Pickpocket Face. The titular character of my first bestseller, Pickety and the Great Wallet Heist. It's rather standard procedure for pickpockets to engage their marks in conversation. It distracts the target, making the newly required lightness of their pockets just that much harder to notice. I hope you're not using this conversation for a similar purpose. Hey, my pockets are empty. Your pockets were always empty, Blaze. I already checked. When exactly? So, about your country. I've been meaning to ask, why are petty crimes so popular? Well, if you didn't catch it from our conversation earlier, my country takes courage very seriously. Courage under fire. Courage on behalf of your friends. Courage while deflecting projectiles. What? Crimes are made wholly out of public perception, after all. What is a crime in some places could be committed in others without anyone batting an eyelid. Such is the way of crime. And such is the world of a crime fiction novelist. In my country, the severity of a crime is based on the courage shown by the perpetrator. By all accounts, indecently exposing yourself to a gaggle of old people is preferable to picking someone's pocket while they're unaware. It takes courage for the trader to flash their equipment, while the latter, pure cowardice. I see. Your country certainly has some interesting standards. And nowhere in the world is crime a sliding scale. Interesting standards doth make you the crime. Take murder, for instance. Why do you think the maximum penalty for murder should be? You should think carefully about what I say next. Life imprisonment would be mine. My personal pick is... I genuinely believe that the maximum penalty should be life imprisonment. Death penalty, I'm not going to say that I believe in the death penalty, but I do think that life imprisonment is worthy of murder. Because there are crimes on this planet that are worse than murder. Absolutely, like pedophilia is worse than murder. Well, I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinion on that thing, but I think rape is worse than murder, pedophilia is worse than murder, genocide is obviously worse than murder. I mean, like, well, genocide is murder, but mass murder. So there are crimes on this planet, contrary to what people will tell you, in my opinion, that are worse than murder and deserve the death penalty. Murder, I think, is the threshold of what deserves the death penalty and doesn't. But I don't think it deserves the death penalty. So life imprisonment. Life imprisonment. Ah, I was told a lot of people believe life to be a reasonable punishment. It's certainly fair enough. You take someone else's life and end up having to waste your own. But say, what if that person was absolute scum, the lowest of the low, and you are an otherwise upstanding citizen? What then? Is your life really worth the same as theirs? If that's the case, you probably shouldn't have resorted to murder in the first place. Sometimes life forces your hand. Why do some people find it so easy to sit there and moralize? The world isn't a utopia. Its people are far from perfect. She's not speaking from experience, is she? Oh, yes, that was the best option. Good. Yeah, good. I was really doubting myself there. Anyway, Blaze, you're a truly remarkable specimen. To be completely at ease in my presence, I'm told that to a lot of foreigners, my demeanor has come across as rather aloof, even sinister. Sounds about right. But if there's nothing wrong with it, your personality is simply a sign of who you are. Sometimes you just have to ignore what other people think and focus on what you're good at. Oh? And what am I good at? Writing about how Piketty deprived some poor fellow of the contents of their pockets, among other things. My. You're about 50 books behind. The point of view has shifted to his son, the Flash. As the name suggests, his signature crime is rather revealing.
You can stop right there.
Alright.
Before she tells you more about the Flash, alright.
Right, Florence, where is she? She'll be in the cafeteria.
Zeke and his video games. What a typical dumbbell.
Been a while since I've heard that one. Yeah, sure.
Well, if it isn't my favorite support. Shall we perfect our strategy for the next club meeting?
You spent some time discussing various strategies with Florence. I like that I'm hearing these because I think I might have to start changing the voices based on what I hear. Because my voices for Eden and Florence aren't particularly accurate. I'll have to fix them. Hey, Florence-chan. I was just wondering, how do you find the time to play video games?
Whatever do you mean?
Doesn't writing crime fiction novels take up a lot of time? I mean, most of the writing I do involves paperwork, and that already feels like a big chore.
I think I understand the source of your confusion. I fear your assumptions about my style are fundamentally flawed.
Oh?
Writing about such subjects as petty theft, it all comes quite naturally to me. If you don't ever have to deal with something as debilitating as writer's block, I think you'll find writing to be a deliriously simple art.
About your novels. I heard you don't write many murder stories. Is there a reason why?
A simple question, and it begets a simple answer. My computer would crash every time I made any meaningful progress on a murder mystery. The hard drive would then proceed to wipe itself.
What about your backups?
Those would be clean too.
What? How does that even work?
Yes, it seems I am cursed never to be able to type
Then just
a murder
use
mystery.
paper.
The ones I've released have all been penned by hand.
Ah, okay, she does use paper.
It was simply too slow. And that was around the time I started thinking seriously about forging a career in petty theft.
So there was both a practical and a cultural reason for your writing choices. Wait, don't you mean as a petty theft writer?
Of course. As a writer.
She hesitated for too long.
What is your opinion on the matter, Nataliya? Do you think in order for a story to be interesting, someone has to die?
Just think carefully about what I say here. Ooh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Depends on the genre. Depends on the genre.
So you're of the opinion that death is preferable in some genres, but not in others?
Hi. Take romance, for instance. How unromantic would it be if the couple just died in the midst of their relationship? Romeo and Juliet sucks, okay? I'm saying that right now.
Oh? Have you not read
Oh,
Romeo
I
and
knew it!
Juliet?
I don't think that was written to be a pure romance.
Quite right. But I've always found that tale fascinating. Shakespeare's well known for the deep insights he provides into the human condition. But I think he also reflects the fascination with death that lies dormant in us all. Just look at the way that death has creeped into every genre nowadays in the modern world of literature. Is anything safe from death?
Oh, it ended well, okay. That wasn't the best option. Okay, I lost it that time. No, not at all. No, not at all. It's perfectly possible to keep your audience's attention without killing any
And
characters.
you truly believe this?
Without a doubt.
I can't say I particularly expected that. Especially coming from you.
What's that supposed to mean? Okay, cool, that's the best one, alright.
That reminds me. When we next have time, would you care to look at the transcript of my latest novel? I've been working on it in my spare time.
I'd love to, Florence-chan. I'm flattered you're even thinking about showing it to me.
There is a reason for it, of course. But for now, farewell.
You part ways. Still a bit of free time. What should I do now? I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get a snack. Right, I got me some grapes. Yeah, I'm on like a healthy plan. I'm trying to lose I'm not like really doing it for health reasons, but I'm trying to lose a little bit of belly so I can like fit into an outfit that I got, which you'll see in a video that will be going up on the CPI channel in a short while. And I will announce it on my channel as well. Again, as always, the CPI channel is in the description of the video. With that being said, I've also got myself a pancake, just like a regular pancake, nothing on it. Do you reckon I could do one of these free time events, like just like with the pancake stuffed in my mouth? I'm gonna give that a go at one point. I might do it for one of the ones that I've already done though, so I might do it for Nataliya's. For now, let's just do Dash. Ah, sir, welcome. Please make yourself at home. Thanks, Dash. You're too hospitable. I shall spare no small comfort for the man who saved my life last night. I don't think I did that much. Trust me, sir. Some of my withdrawal symptoms can be rather unpleasant. Yep, we all know. What brings you here at this hour, sir? Have you come for some coffee? No thanks. Grace's coffee during dinner was already more than sufficient. That girl, she learns fast. It would be such a shame if she likes mocass. Huh? Nothing, sir. So, about your demeanor. It seems you have this whole butler routine going. Butler, you say? That was not my direction, sir. I find that very hard to believe. Though as co-owner turned sole proprietor of the largest cafe in the world, over time I did find myself adapting to a persona that would be more generally agreeable to the whole clientele. Ah, I see. It doesn't matter what your background is, everyone can appreciate being served like that. Very good, sir. I knew you'd understand. Anyway, now that we have this cleared up, I was wondering if there's anything else you can tell me about yourself. Speaking Canada to Canada, of course. Oh, could sir be a bit more specific with his order? It's not an order. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. But I noticed this morning that you seem to have an affinity for food. Very good, sir. Indeed, before I met the ultimate baker, I used to be a world-famous food critic. In order to be worthy of such a position, you need to know how to cook. Wow, a food critic? Very surprising given his current demeanor. Precisely. I had a penchant for being rather direct with my opinions. When I first started out, everyone called me the kitchen nightmare. I used to be quite the irritable fellow, if you would believe it. Used to be? Oh. Yes, I had the habit of asking for my food to be served off the floor. Simply put, sir, there is no better way to test an entire establishment. The hygiene standards and the wholesomeness of taste, both at once assessed. Christ. But you weren't the ultimate connoisseur? No, I wasn't. Such an honor went to a lass in the small town of Polestar, the next town over actually. There was simply no way I could compete with her God's tongue. Or her metaphors. She loved her metaphors. Right. And it was then I met the baker fellow. He wanted to turn his bakery into a cafe and was on the search for a barista. Of course, even if he was the leader of a great family, that accent made me quite skeptical. So we made an agreement. I would work at his cafe as the barista, provided his baked goods were of a satisfactory quality. How were they? I'd never tasted anything better in my life. I even took the liberty of rubbing his bread all across the carpet. The loss of umami remained constant, a perfect zero. It was simply scrumptious. I tore my favorite tuxedo that day. the ultimate baker. He must have been a truly incredible person. Anyway, sir, is there anything else you wish to ask of me? I should think carefully about what I say. I don't really want to ask him about his hate for Mosha, whatever that is. Because I thought that would trigger him. When was the last time you had coffee? Oh, good question. It was probably... Excuse me for a moment. He pushes you out of the cafe. Fucking shit, where'd I put it? Went well? Make a flat white. You made me a flat white. Oh, but I thought... Say no more, sir. He makes you a flat white, and makes an even bigger one for himself. Even though you only take a couple of sips, you have to resist the urge to tear off all your clothes. You decided to with running around the cafe like a madman instead. So the conversation. Okay, that was right! That was what I had to do! Now that you've calmed down, if you ever need another flat white, be sure to ask. I'll also be happy to taste test any food that you make in future. That's too kind of you, Dash. Trust me, sir. The pleasure is all mine. If you're interested, I could also try and teach you the fine arts of cooking and coffee brewing. I'll think about it. Just make sure you're topped up on coffee before we start. But of course, sir. Wow, we actually had a normal conversation with Dash, for the most part. Right. Dash is next. Okay, let's see how well this one goes.
A room which reveals the subconscious? I wonder if we should really believe in something like that.
Sorry, Dash. I'm just checking my list of characters right here. See who we get next. Spend some time with Dash. Stay.
Very good, ma'am. Would you care to share your thoughts on the topic?
You engage in a surprisingly philosophical discussion on the bicameral room. It seems you and Dash have gotten closer.
About earlier. Could ma'am explain why she gave Phoenix's meal a pass?
Pardon?
Phoenix's meal. Why did you give it your seal of approval? What was so special about it?
I just thought it tasted good. That's all there is to it, yeah?
I see. And how exactly did it taste good?
This is like an interrogation. The layers mixed well, I guess. I didn't notice any flavor clashes either.
Really, ma'am, I noticed several. Dozen.
That many? Remind me why you're not the ultimate connoisseur again, Nyan?
For nearly everything everyone does, there's someone out there who does it better. When it comes to tasting things, I'm really no different.
And yet your skills are unparalleled when it comes to coffee.
Very good, ma'am. Did I tell you about the origins of my coffee-making craft?
I don't think you did.
There was an old man who owned a cafe where he served curry. But one day, tragedy struck.
I should be careful what I say next. How was the curry?
If I'm to admit, I think it left a lot to be desired. I could certainly see its appeal to the masses, but there were simply too many flaws to ignore.
Wow, that's pretty harsh.
That was his reaction too when I brought it up with him. Yet, he never bothered changing the recipe after that.
Wait, ended horribly? That's the worst one? He seemed pretty fine with it. Did he leave you anything in his will? Did he leave you anything in his will?
What an odd question for man to ask.
Yeah, why did I ask that again?
Very well, at least you seem serious about your question. He left me many things in his will, actually, including his cat. However, he passed the cafe on to his delinquent son.
Ouch.
Yes, at the time I was wondering why he would do something like that. Was he simply blinded by the fact that it was his own progeny? But no, it turned out to be for the best. That episode encouraged me to work hard. It taught me that if I wanted to make things happen, I had to work for it. In a way, this may be what he was trying to teach me all along.
And what of his son? Is the cafe still a local success?
Yes, but it's no longer a cafe.
Something tells me I shouldn't press for any more details. Oh, that's not the best one either. So the best one is asking if he had a cat. Do you have a cat? About the old man.
Yes.
Did he have a Neko?
What? Ma'am, please understand that I can't fulfill your request when I don't understand what you're saying.
Really now? Right, let me try again. Did he have a cat?
cat? Indeed, he did. He left it to me in his will.
Could you tell me about it?
Where did this sudden interest in cats come from?
I just like cats is all.
You like cats?
What? It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it went excellently.
Let's see. He named his cat Human.
What? What kind of name is
A
that?
bizarre name, yes. But he was always weird around animals. However, the cat only responded to MiiYu.
Great.
That's what I called it instead. To say I was saddened by its passing would be a gross underestimate. It was as though I was facing the death of my compatriot, the ultimate baker, all over again.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Dashkun.
Yes. With MiiYu gone, there was no one to meow incessantly when I was awake past midnight.
How about a hug? That should cheer you up.
I shall take my leave.
What was that? What was that? Like, what? Dash, what? It seems I still have a bit of free time. What should I do now? Okay, next is Virginia. What? Groot? Can't say I'm particularly surprised about the choice of doorbell. Wait, doorbell? Yes? What brings you to the office at this hour? Wrong voice. What brings you to the office at this hour? The office? Do you have an stupid pancake. Do you have an appointment? If not, then I ask you to take a ticket and wait in line. I'll get to you soon. She goes to the door. What line? Begrudgingly, you take a ticket from the dispenser that had been set up outside her door. Hello there, sir. Ticket GTF0? Yes. Ah, come in and take a seat. You oblige. Okay, sir. Why are you here? Blaze is fine, and I'm here to talk to you. Oh? What about? I'd like to know more about you, actually. You seem to have a strong intuition for starters. Does it run in the family? Hey, you can't fool me using Dash's quirk! What if I told you that I've been narcoleptic for as long as I can remember? I wouldn't believe you. It's true, though. I've been suffering from narcolepsy ever since you walked in. Happens every time there's a customer. This conversation is getting nowhere. So, how's family life? Growing up in a family of trolls must have been interesting. It's pretty boring, to be honest. My career paths are so limited. Not to mention I keep getting fired from every job I take. Not from incompetence, though, I take it. Yep. Have I ever told you about the honeycomb and the jackass? The what and the what? I don't believe you have! When you're a secretary, you tend to have access to everyone's personal details. Their names, their credit card numbers, their allergies. I don't like where this is going. Let me guess. Someone in the office was allergic to honeycomb. Correct. Then what was the jackass? That would be my boss. I'll never forget the moment he fired me. You're fired! He screamed, face blotchy red. The hidden camera was only the cherry on top. Hidden camera? Well, I couldn't preserve that experience in myself now, could I? I had to make sure everyone in the company got to witness our boss for who he really was. A jackass who overworked his staff and was only mildly allergic to honeycomb. I see. Oh, okay. Yikes. I hope I never get on her bad side. Anyway, is there anything else you wish to discuss at this point, or will that conclude our meeting? Conclude the goddamn meeting. Okay, I think I've discussed everything I wanted to. No worries, sir. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. That's just how it's designed. I see. Thanks for the heads up. Okay, that wasn't the best option. Groot? So about Groot. Oh my god! Oh my god, that's... Oh god, that's hilarious! The people who write this goddamn game are goddamn masters at freaking humor and writing, and I'll say as many times as I need to, this is the best written fangin ever. God, hold on, I'm gonna load that, I need to see that again. Just automatically say Groot and the conversation wins. What about Groot? He's amazing, isn't he? So he's a person? Groot takes many forms. Me, my family, Flora, various states of mind. We are Groot.
How exactly does Groot become a state of mind? I don't know. How does a submarine swim? Though the conversation goes nowhere, you leave the room feeling as though you've reached a heightened state of Groot. Just a little bit of time. Oh god, that's funny. Okay, let's do Virginia. Would you like to spend time with Virginia? Yeah, sure. Spend some time standing in silence. Seems you and Virginia have gotten closer.
Oh, you're still here? The office closed hours ago.
Then why was the door still open?
That's not a door. It's a bar.
In the distance you can hear what you think to be a posh gentleman screaming out in agony.
Okay, ma'am. Why are you here? Do you have an appointment?
Just Nat is fine, thank you. And I'm here to talk to you.
Okay, just Nat. What do you want to talk about?
Just tell me a bit about yourself. What's it like being related to the ultimate troll? I still can't believe that's a valid talent.
Hey, it takes skill to be a successful troll.
Did she read my face?
Nah, that's Eden's thing. Yeah, being related is okay, I guess. We don't really talk much, though.
Is it because of your work as a secretary?
Yeah. Let's go with that.
What else could be taking up your time?
Beats me.
This conversation is getting nowhere.
I have a question. What's it like being a warden?
She's showing an interest in my profession? Let's see. I think my view might be different to the rest of the law enforcement family. But I don't think committing a single crime should ever make you a lost cause. Your life should mean so much more than just one dumb choice. What do you think, Virginia? Virginia?
I see.
That was anticlimactic.
Dumb choices, huh? They're the things that upset customers, right?
I guess you could view them that way. But generally, the phrase implies a lack of intention.
That's unfortunate.
What?
Groot. Hey, Nat.
Yes?
Would you mind if I start referring my customers to you? For rehabilitation?
I should think carefully about what I say here. They need to be guilty first. They need to be guilty of something first.
It's okay. I can think of many things they'd be guilty of.
They will have to be crimes!
Sorry, we don't accept returns.
Even with a few seconds of purchase? Went well? Okay. Not my problem, I'd say. Not my problem.
Yeah, true. Forget I even asked.
That was reasonable of her. Okay, that's the terrible one. Okay. No, I don't mind. No, I don't mind. But unless they've committed a crime, all I can do is have a conversation with them.
That's fine. If they're talking to you, they can't also talk to me, right?
I can't believe I'm getting roped into this.
Don't worry. I'm just pulling your leg. I don't have to deal with that many customers anyway. But it's interesting to see that you agreed so easily. I'll keep that in mind for future reference.
Yeah, there you go. Seems I still have a bit of free time. Right. Who else we got next? Let's do Elisa next, okay. This just in. Our reporter appears to have a visitor at the most peculiar hour of day. More on this tomorrow at 6:30. I keep going on and off with Elisa's voice. I'm gonna see if I'm trying to stick with it. Yes, please? You didn't even look up from the counter. How'd you know it was me? You have a distinct way of walking. Surely there's at least a few other Ultimates here that walk in a similar fashion, yes? But none of them have a similarly paced walk. I wasn't aware the way we walk could be used to identify us. You'd be surprised with just how many things can be used to identify you in this day and age. Anyway, what brings you here? Have you come to inform? Not quite. I was just wondering if I could get to know you a bit better, candidate to candidate. I see. No signs of suspicious activity thus far. What? Nothing. Okay, let's start from the beginning. What made you decide to become a journalist? Oh, it happened completely by chance. Again? I was out with my parents one day at their golf course. My father is the ultimate golfer after all. Ah, so talent runs in the blood. You flatter me. She's pretty cute. She's pretty adorable. Anyway, he's the owner of that big resort in the Bahamas. larger? I think some of my former students go there on vacation from time to time. Yep, Mars because it gives its stripes to give off an interplanetary feel. And Mars Lagar, it's probably Mars Lagar, right? And Lagar because it's our signature drink. Anyway, we're out in the Eastern Golfing Room when a politician walked up to me. Running for re-election, I think. He was followed by his own entourage of reporters. That's a cute dress you have there, he said to me. Do you know what I said in response? Where'd you hide the body? I know. Even I'm still unsure why I blurted it out. Of course, the only person that didn't think it was a joke was him. While most of the journalists just laughed it off, one eagle-eyed reporter was watching carefully for his reaction. If it wasn't for her... Anyway, she agreed to take me on as her assistant, and thus began my foray into the world of journalism. Not the most interesting of beginnings, isn't it? No, I thought that was fascinating. To catch a murderer at such a young age using nothing but intuition. Imagine if he actually got re-elected. Politicians are the slimiest people you could ever meet. When they're not busy ruining the system, they're too busy rooting for other... I'm pretty sure that's supposed to say rooting. When they're not busy rooting the system, they're too busy rooting for other people's spouses. You know what one of my colleagues had as his motto? I'd rather fear for my life than fear for my wife. That bad, huh? Oh, you wouldn't believe how bad it came, let me tell you. It's funny that this conversation is happening after that one Tory MP resigned after watching porn during a meet. It's like, this is the time zone that we're currently in, as a Tory MP was caught watching porn when he was trying to look up tractors or some shit. I don't know. Sorry, force of habit. When I'm interviewing someone, it's routine for me to slowly adapt to their speech patterns. But, yes. They're both gone now. Their lives extinguished in seconds. She didn't care about what I said. Wait, what was she talking about? Whose life? Her parents? Oh. Oh yeah, it was their parents, right. Was it the plane crash? No, I'm not gonna pry. They'd be glad to see you now. They'd be glad to see you now. Looking at your current position, I'm sure you're doing their memories proud. Thank you. However, I think your views may be off the mark here. My career has only just begun. And looking at our situation, there's no guarantee it will continue. Every journalist knows how it feels to accept death. But I always hope to be able to die in the field of duty. Even now I cling on to that hope so that it may someday get reported as the truth. Oh. And thus, the Elisa Cassidy, as you see right now, has done little to earn the praise of spirits past. This interview has confirmed that to be an unshakable fact. Wait, that was the worst one? Then what's the point? Was it a plane crash? I'm sorry to hear that. Let's go with that one. I'm sorry to hear that. I appreciate your sympathies, but I've already moved on. Such is the world of journalism. You have to be in constant motion or you too will get inevitably left behind. Sounds like a difficult world to immerse yourself in. Wait, the best option is, like, asking, like, is prying? Why? Alright, well, I was curious. Was it the plane crash? One of them, yes. She was the best supervisor you could ever hope for. It was from her that I learned the value of the truth as well as the harsh reality of reporting. She was also there watching the broadcast with me when the chameleon died. I made a complete fool of myself in front of her when it happened and she didn't care. Elisa. As for my male colleague, it turns out his motto should have been, I should fear for my life because of my wife. So she... Yep, he was poisoned. Apparently their relationship was in the dumps. Oh, she's not talking about her parents, she's talking about her colleagues. Alright. You took a big risk asking me about the plane crash. Most people would view that as tactless. I could certainly respect a man who's willing to push the boundaries to get a scoop. Oh, okay, I see. Okay, that does make sense, I guess. Tell you what, Blaze, how about this? When we get out of here, let's go golfing together. I'm spitting everywhere because of the fucking pancake. I'll even pop out our best lagar. I don't know. Golfing isn't really my thing. Or alcohol. It's great if you want to be politicians. Heaps of them go golfing in their spare time, believe me. That's even less of a reason to golf. Okay, but only because it's you asking. Seriously? It's a deal then. I look forward to cleanly defeating you on the green. I swear to it on my last set of triple bogeys. Something tells me being an amateur isn't going to be too much of a disadvantage. With your plans set, you soon part ways. Still a good time. Right. Elisa done. Elisa.
A room that shows us our true selves? What would the viewers make of it, I wonder?
Spend some time with Elisa? Sure.
This just in. We have breaking news. A source has just approached our reporter, claiming to possess crucial insider information. More on that at 6:30. And cut! Yes, Nat? What have you got for me?
I just wanted a conversation. Sorry to disappoint.
Not at all. Some of my best information has come from idle conversation.
So Elisa-chan, I just realized, I really don't know much about you. You know, other than the fact that you're a reporter and that your father is the ultimate golfer.
Oh? What's this? Do we have an anonymous source leaking information from inside Marzalager?
I knew it was Marzalager, okay. What do you mean?
Not many people know that my father is the ultimate golfer. How did you come across such an obscure detail?
He was called to testify during one of my cases. During prep, he mentioned that his daughter was a famous journalist. I could tell he was very proud of you. You're lucky to have such a wonderful father.
Pops.
Oh, okay. I thought Blaze told her.
Don't think I'm someone to be proud of.
Why not, Lisa?
When I first became a journalist, I swore to fiercely pursue the truth, no matter what it was. Even if all the other stations ended up with more views, I wanted my time slot to be an enduring vestige of truth. Would it be perfect? No. But what I did want was to create a place where people knew they wouldn't be lied to. Say, Nataliya, would you report the truth for the greater good? If you knew it would hurt someone you love, or someone who trusted you?
Oh boy. I can't answer that. I can't answer that.
Ah, the classic no comment. Dare I ask why?
I can talk a big game now. Say that I'll always value the truth, or that I'll always put my loved ones or my sources first, but I know that it won't always be true. And someday I might have to make a choice where, no matter what happened, my core beliefs will be compromised.
Huh. What a magnificent response! I'm seriously impressed, Nataliya. A mighty shame that wasn't recorded. That would have been the best interview, believe me. Sorry, force of habit.
She's cute. Is that the best? Yeah, nice! Okay, after spending more time discussing the importance of truth, you decide to part ways. Okay, cool. Elisa, now I think we're gonna do Pierce.
Oh, bloody hell, here we go. Let's just do Pierce. Let's get this over with.
Hold it! What are you doing here? My poor Pierce. I'd like to...
Say no more!
What type of case would you like me to take on? Actually, that doesn't even matter. There's no such thing as a case that can't be handled by full lethality! Ow. There's no need to shout, Pierce. I'm right next to you. Next to me, you say? My apologies. Okay, what about this? Would you like to... I'm not here to make a contract either. Oh, then what are you here for? I thought I'd get to know you a bit... Oh, wrong person. I thought I'd get to know you a bit better. You know, candidate to candidate, person to person. Person to person. So, you haven't come to make fun of me? Of course not. It's hard to make fun of someone with such an illustrious career. Just how is his career so illustrious? I see. So you want to hear about my incredible hijinks as a lawyer of yore? Sure, why not? Could you tell me a bit about your agency? I'd be glad to. In my town, there's not a single person who hasn't heard of League of Legends. League of Legends? That would be my agency. It was either that or Thrifty Summoners, but the latter sound like it comes from a video game. Right, League of Legends does sound more professional. I mean, it does! It does sound... I know, I get the League of Legends reference, but also it does sound more professional. Interesting name choice, I must say. Oh, the name is actually the most conventional thing about our agency. At League of Legends, we pride ourselves on fighting tooth and nail to achieve the best possible outcome for our clients. Ah, do you just allow people to walk in? Nope, we have a partner in the agency, who wears a green necklace shaped like an ear. Whenever she's there, she jumps in and tells us whether or not we should accept certain clients. Oh, you're allowed to do that in your country? Clever, right? In my country, the qualified lawyer is supposed to accept all cases within their skill set, provided they have availabilities. Whatever. Oh, wait. Oh, that's the wrong person, sorry. Oh, you're allowed to do that in your country? In my country, a qualified lawyer is supposed to accept all cases within their skill set, provided they have availabilities. What a restrictive rule. Yeah, we believe that someone is innocent until proven guilty, so a lawyer's opinion doesn't matter as much. You live in a strange country. Speak for yourself! Just while we're on this topic, have you ever gotten a guilty person off the hook? Probably. There's not a single good lawyer out there who can answer that question with certainty. I've always wanted to ask a lawyer this, actually. Are you okay? I mean, with doing this sort of thing? Sometimes it's easier to be bad at your job. But despite what certain games may tell you, everyone is entitled to a fair trial. Though knowing your country, it's probably the opposite there too, isn't it? No. Looks like we found a point of commonality. Finally. As a lawyer, I trust not only in my client, but also in the prosecution. If they can't prove that my client is guilty and they can't prove my evidence, to me that is a sign of innocence. I see. Will that be all, Your Honor? I should think carefully about what I say next. You won the lawsuit. Congratulations, you've won the lawsuit. What? Not like this! I didn't even get to finish my build! Your what? Legal Legends terminology. You wouldn't understand, Your Honor. What? Fuck off! God, I'm not good at this, am I? Overruled. Overruled. Huh? So what exactly are you overruling? Nothing. I just really wanted to say it. Interesting. You remind me of a certain judge. Not the one with the bald-headed Canadian brother, the other one. Gee, that really narrows it down. Wait, what? The best one is like being a dick to him. Okay, I do want to be a dick to Pierce, but I'm throwing on your case. You are? Curses! Foiled again! What does he mean by again, exactly? Looks like you're winning extremely well, somehow. You've been nothing but fair and impartial this whole time. Are you sure you don't want to quit teaching and work for my agency instead? Was I now? Well, interestingly enough, at some point I did consider a career in law. What stopped you? About several thousand pages worth of readings. You mean you actually bothered to do your readings? Remind me how you're the ultimate lawyer again? No. You see, the trick to full lethality is to fly along by the seat of your pants. The same goes for reading. Let me tell you all about it. Listen to Pierce's discussion on full lethality and soon part ways. Eagerly. Alright, cool. That's Pierce done. Let's do him next.
Hold it! That Tetris game was objectionable on so many levels.
Spend some time with Pierce? Sure.
Uh-huh. Nat, come to confess, have we? I just knew you had to be a robot.
Some time passes as Pierce delivers the main Kampf test. Seems you and Pierce have gotten a little closer? So, what are the results?
Inconclusive.
Like hell!
We have more pressing matters to deal with. Like the fact that you're brazenly trying to get into my pants.
Excuse me?
You heard right. I told you to collect other people's underwear, not mine. How awkward would it be if I could only steal my own heart? It would be like going full lethality and having no one to... Never mind. What do you have against full lethality anyway? Not like this.
I should think carefully about what I say here. No, I'm just trying to get his pants, really? Use logic. Say, Pierce-kun, if you gave me your underwear right now, can you imagine how much time it would free up? I'd be able to go around and collect everyone else's underwear much more easily.
Wait. But if I gave you my underwear so easily, it would imply that I'm loose. I have standards too, you know. You'll have to do me just the same as everyone else. Do me.
And what was he just saying about standards? Oh, that was the best one! That was supposed to do that? Okay. Alright. Alright, cool. Alright, cool. Time to go talk to the dead. Magnus, here we go. I'm gonna have to remember, what's the voice I gave? It's like, I watched him do it, dumbass, or something like that, right. I'm gonna have to try and remember the voice I gave Magnus. My hair's all over the place, I look like Frankenstein. I said, hey, yeah. Hey, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? What brings you here? Oh, you noticed me? He managed to say it in tune. But of course, wrong voice. But of course, it within my calculations. I see. I was wondering if I could talk to you, actually. Considering the amount of energy you must have expended, surely it must be something important. Well, that depends on your definition of important. I'd mainly like to get to know you better. Get to know me better. Is that so strange? You're a fellow candidate. What? talents may be worlds apart, but we may both become important leaders very soon. I see. What is it you wish to talk about then? Anything really. Your call. I think it would be more efficient for you to choose the topic. Fair enough. Okay, how about this? What's up with your uniform? My uniform? What do you mean, what's up with it? Are you saying it doesn't suit me? Well, have you ever been in the army or navy before? I've been a navigator for both. Thought I told you this already. Yes, but have you ever, had to pick up a weapon? No. I was simply there to give navigation advice. To get their armies from one place to another using minimal resources, sneak past enemy patrols, that type of thing. I see. I asked because you seem especially attached to your uniform. Is there some kind of deeper significance? It's not my uniform. It's the uniform reserved for the ultimate nomad. The ultimate nomad? Yes. He used to come with me on my voyages. My thoughts are usually a jumbled mess, but with him around, I didn't even feel the need to listen to music. Those were the sorts of voyages that I wished would last forever. On one mission, we were both awarded uniforms because of our superior directional skills, the usual. They're made out of an extremely rare and unique material, so they take a while to make. Since he was the great family head and I wasn't, his one was made first. Do you know what he did? Without a second's hesitation, he passed the uniform straight to me. He needs it more. I can wait, he said before walking off. That's just the sort of person he was. That's why I know he must have had a good reason for not contacting me. I know he'll reach out to me again eventually. Just be careful about what I say. Right. But no, the ultimate nomad got kidnapped though. That's why he hasn't reached out to Magnus. Right. Survive for him. Survive for him. It's the only thought keeping me going. I'm not sure if you know this, but I'm not used to being the subject of kindness. It's pretty rare where I come from, to be nice to someone else without expecting something in return. The idea of altruism does not exist. Maybe Eden can fix that when she becomes the head of aid. I hope so too. Well, okay, it's not the best option. Why is cheesy? And you start right off. Oh, okay, I figure I shouldn't play around with it. Alright. Can you calculate the distance to the sun from here? I could, but... just playing around, don't worry. Well, since you started it, the distance from Earth to the Sun is usually anywhere between 156 to 152 million kilometers. It depends on Earth's approach, or perihelion. You asked that to take my mind off things, didn't you? You two are remarkably similar. Oh, nice, okay. Hey Blaze, when we first met, I thought you were just another one of those mouth breathers that would look at me and see a calculator and not a person. It's the same reason why I like music. It's consistent, calming, predictable. It never lets you down and always keeps you up. Don't need to justify yourself. I'm a teacher. Everyone has a different way of viewing the world. We've all been shaped by different experiences. Just remember, you're a human first, always. Don't let your affections change you into something you're not. I see. I'll try to take that on board, Magnus. Always efficiently. Okay, cool. Right. Mona next. Let's do Mona. Alright. Ah, Blaze! What are you doing here? So you want to talk? Let's go out! Dash's orders. He keeps making me my coffee, and in exchange, I conduct all my conversations outside. Chop chop, Blaze! Walk outside. So, what brings you here at this hour? Would you like me to make something for you? Have you brought the materials? If not, that's okay. I can source them myself. No, that's fine. I'm just here to talk. Talking, you say? I just love talking! I can tell. So, what would you like to talk about? My inventions? My other half? The distance between here and the sun? Oh, yeah, ironic. Oh wait, that's Magnus's thing, isn't it? Sorry! This is a little overwhelming. I'm still so used to the other side of her. About your talent. Yeah, we're glad you acknowledge us. Oh right, they share memories. A lot of people think our talent is a bit lackluster, especially since we might end up leading the great family of weaponry. You know what I tell them in response? What? Just wait till you meet my other self. And I'm not talking about my persona. Okay. Besides, people with split personalities are usually rather disturbed. Quite a few of them even become serial killers. Remember Genocide of Shu? That last with the bomb, literally. I see. That's a good point, I guess. So, I was told by you that you both have separate skill sets. Yep, I'm the brain and she's the brawn. Well, not quite. She's actually pretty smart. But you get the picture. I try not to make fun of her lack of a winning personality. She gets awfully touchy about it. About a lot of things, actually. I see. I should think carefully about what I say next. You're both wonderful. You're both wonderful, actually. I think you both complement each other nicely. Our old teacher's this bad at lying, but I'm not! Blaze, both of us deal with lies from day to night. In your case, I suggest you don't quit your day job, okay? What? I wasn't lying! What? How is your personality split? I thought this was gonna go wrong. We're just wondering, how does your personality split? What are you talking about? We were always like this, for as long as I can remember. What a self-contradictory statement. So for as long as you can remember, there has been two of you. Yep. Can't believe I was ever able to survive with just the one personality, such a time even existed. She's crying? Mona? It's your fault. Whenever I think that far into my past, all I feel is a crushing darkness. It makes me so sad, and I don't even know why. Jeez, I hate not knowing things! Feels when only a robot can sympathize with you. MiiYu? What about her? Unless you're talking about Kill More Bear? Don't be stupid! I've said more than enough. Okay. So there's some juice there. It's funny as well, because I've been watching, and I will admit, I cried a lot at the most recent episode of Moon Knight. Moon Knight, so far at least, proven to be a fantastic show, and really does, like, bring attention to ideas like mental illness, and the fact that people just need help and love, and they need to just be taken care of. And in the most recent episode of Moon Knight, I won't spoil it, of course, but you really get to see that on full display, and it's heartbreaking. It's just so heartbreaking. What's your vision as a leader? I've been thinking, we're all candidates for the World Empire, aren't we? Roger that! Where are you getting at? Well, that means if our applications are successful, we'll need to learn to work together for the good of the world. That is some seriously heavy stuff, man. Yeah, you're absolutely positively correct, Amundo. In that case, I was wondering, what is your vision for the future? What do you plan to do as the leader of the great family of weaponry? Our views are not quite in sync on that topic. I know I'll be able to make the best weapons and that I can trust her to know how to use them. However, in terms of distribution, both of us think weapons should be restricted to only certain people. I prefer to keep my views to myself. What about her? That's easy. She just doesn't want idiots to own weapons. What qualifies as idiotic by her standard exactly? There you go, extremely well. My, that was intense. You really know how to keep a gal on her toes, Blaze. Oh wait, that's Nat's thing, isn't it? I don't mind what you call me, to be honest. Well hey, isn't it too early in the day to be saying something like that? Starring contest! You bellowed out. Ah, dang it, that was super hard on the eyes. You're really good at this, Blaze. How you been practicing? You could say that. Mainly in the classroom, though. Well, man, I haven't felt this alive since yesterday evening. You should move in with us. I'm sure MiiYu wouldn't mind. I'll pass. You know what they say about groups of threes. Yep, two's company, three's allowed. Come join! With a tinge of regret, you politely decline her offer and soon part ways. Takes a little bit of time. Right. Let's do this.
Wow, people sure take their video games seriously, don't they? There's more to life than Tetris, you know.
Yeah. Spend some time with Mona? Yes.
Ah, hey Nat.
It's the nighttime Mona.
What brings you here at this time? Actually, it doesn't matter. Do you need anything fixed? I'll do it in a jiffy.
You spent some time having various possessions fixed by Mona. It seems you and Mona have gotten a little closer. Hey Mona-chan?
What's up?
How are you holding up, the both of you?
Everything's fine and dandy. Thank you very much.
Are you sure? The situation must be extra difficult for you, seeing as you're...
Basically two people, double the trouble, double the fun, right?
It's nice to see you're still upbeat about this whole thing. Half the time, anyway.
Don't worry, Nat. I've got MiiYu to keep me company. She's so calm all the time. I wonder how she does it.
Probably just the way she's built.
Yesy! What I've seen of her programming seems to support that theory.
What do you make of her?
I feel like this is just me. I feel like this is like, I'm just imagining, like, if you look in the back corner over there, you just see me, like, poking her head around the side. Just like, what does she say? Does she like me? Do I have a chance with her? That's how this feels.
She's definitely special, that's for sure. The code's so complicated. Staring at it for too long gives me a concussion. There's something big buried in there. I just know it.
Something about our situation?
Yep. Who needs the bicameral room when we've already got one in the shape of a robot?
But you didn't seem too opposed to the idea of the bicameral room earlier.
Not gonna lie. We need all the information we can get our hands on right now. Sure, it's risky. But what's life without a bit of risk?
I should think carefully about what I say next. It could be one of these two. I live for danger. I live for danger!
Whoa, Nat! That's a seriously scary philosophy. Surely risk doesn't always have to translate into danger, does it?
God damn it. Okay, never mind. Risk could get us killed. There you go. We have to be careful, though. Risk could get us all killed.
My, ever the cautious type, are we? But right you are. Risks are what make life interesting. But they're also what makes life dangerous. We really gotta learn to manage it if we want to keep moving forward, I think.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, good. Thinking about what time talking abstract terms about risk, you decided to head back to the cafeteria. Alright. Let's do MiiYu next. I've already done her, but... Ah, MiiYu! I didn't expect to find you here this time. Scanning. Expect? Do you have some business with me? Yes, actually. I was wondering if I could get to know you a bit better. To know me better? I see. Is something the matter? I did not expect to hear... So, wait, hold on. Is something the matter? I did not expect to hear that from a human. Usually it is me that shows an interest in them. After all, that is simply the way I am programmed. How about this then? I'll tell you a bit about myself, and in exchange you share some information of your own. Ah, is this what you humans call quid pro quo? Mainly people like Pierce, but yeah. Very well. I agree to those conditions. I was hoping you'd say that. I'll start since I asked. Ask me anything. Okay. You are a teacher, are you not? Yes. That's not your question, is it? Oh, She seems genuinely flustered. That's okay. Many humans in your position would have made the same mistake. I see. I am glad to hear that. Just be careful with your word choice when responding. Words may seem insubstantial, but even the subtlest of changes can have huge implications. That goes for every spoken human language. Understood. Archiving data for future use. Okay, I am ready to ask my question now. Shoot! Feel free to ask me the question. If she wasn't so advanced, that could have been a disaster. What does teaching entail exactly? Ooh, that's a heavy question. If my question has caused you discomfort, please let me know, and I will rephrase it or ask a different one. As you have instructed, I will also try to be mindful of my word choice. No, it's fine, really. It's just really hard to give an answer. I guess the literal definition would be about the passing of knowledge from teacher to student, but it's so much more than that. The rapport you build in your classes, the way your natural advisors are conducted to your students' individual needs. There's just so many layers to it, but it's all about knowledge. You need to know the content, but you also need to know the students. Interesting. Thank you for that. The information you provided has been very useful. Running comparison scan on phrase many layers. So you're saying a teaching is like an onion? Yeah, something like that. But each layer corresponds to a different set of skills, all of which must be working in tandem for you to be effective at your job. And these layers, do they encompass the aforementioned skills to which you have referred? Yep, I see. You humans are so interesting. I almost envy you. Being a human can be tough sometimes, even though you have your programming MiiYu. In many ways, robots are more free than humans are. More free? Anyways, don't think I've forgotten about our deal. I did not. In fact, I have flagged our arrangement as high priority. It is quite literally all I can think about right now. I see. I should think carefully about what I ask her. Emotions? I've been meaning to ask about your emotional range. How wide is it exactly? My emotional range? That is a complicated subject for me.
As you are no doubt aware, my current ability to replicate emotions is rather limited.
You're already quite expressive. It's amazing to think that your emotions can only become more complex from this point onward.
You are too kind. I fear my current response has been rather unsatisfactory, so I will endeavor to explain it in a more understandable manner. To borrow your wording, my emotional discernment is like an onion.
Ah, I think I see what you're getting at. You certainly are a fast learner.
Perhaps that is to be expected given your ultimate status.
Wait, wrong person.
You certainly are a fast learner. Perhaps that is to be expected given your ultimate status. Even for a human, you are remarkable.
I never really thought of myself that way, though.
Is this what humans call modesty?
No!
Yes, I suppose it is. I have modesty bookmarked as one of the human qualities that is less readily discussed. Perhaps I was wrong? No, keep that bookmarked. Affirmative. You are certainly an interesting human, Blaze. I hope to talk to you again soon.
Likewise. That wasn't the best one. Okay. Logic?
In short, it is based on a shared learning model. In order to strengthen my capacity to create and follow logical thoughts, it is necessary for me to interact with humans. In this world, humans remain the primary users of logic. It stands to reason that a robot such as myself would learn the most when interacting with them.
Ah, about that. You brought up a rather interesting observation earlier during dinner. Was that made possible through prior interactions with humans?
I am inclined to think so. Logic is still a fresh concept to me. Sometimes it is as if all the gears are perfectly intertwined, and the logic just flows naturally from there. I can think of no other way of describing it.
Yep, sounds like logic to me. Sometimes it just happens. There doesn't need to be an explanation.
I'm glad to hear.
Yeah!
Blaze?
Yes, MiiYu?
This might be improper of me to say, but you remind me a lot of someone.
Someone? You mean from before your memories were wiped?
Yes. Their playful curiosity yet firm commitment to the purity of intellectualism. It's certainly very reminiscent. Of course, such traits are undoubtedly quite common among humans.
Well, yes and no.
Whatever do you mean?
It's a long story.
Scanning. I see. Well, whenever you have the time, I'd be glad to hear this so-called long story.
I'll think about it. And just like that, you both decide to part ways. Seems like you still have a bit of time. MiiYu's turn.
A room which purports to show your deeper self. I wonder if mine too will involve video games.
Would you like to hang out with MiiYu? Yeah, sure.
Ah, Nataliya! I apologize for not noticing you sooner.
You spent some time calming down a surprisingly flustered MiiYu. It seems you and MiiYu have gotten a little closer.
Say, Nataliya? Have you taken an interest in me?
Yes. An interest? I probably wouldn't put it like that, Nyan. But I do think you're interesting.
Really?
Yep, I mean, you're a robot. Growing up, I always wanted one for a partner.
A partner?
Yep. And it seems technology has finally caught up.
You flatter me with your words. What business do you have with me? Surely it is human convention to have something in mind when approaching another.
No, I just felt like talking to you, Nyan.
Scanning. Really? I've known that human convention can be rather spontaneous, but to this degree?
Well, if you want to get a proper conversation going, why not tell me a bit about yourself?
Very well. Both my logical and emotional drives seem to be developing nicely. I don't know how I can explain it. It's as though I'm beginning to feel more relaxed. But then the gears finish spinning. And I realize I'm still an outsider. A robot without a purpose.
I should think carefully about what I say here. You don't need a purpose. I'm gonna say it just in case. Because it could be any of these. You don't need a purpose.
I beg your pardon?
Not all people go through life with a clear purpose in mind. I think there's nothing wrong with not having a purpose, Nyan.
But Nataliya, I am a robot. A robot needs purpose. It's what gives us the sense of structure we need to continue with our programs.
But you're not just an ordinary robot, MiiYu. Why would you limit yourself in such a way?
Thank you, Nataliya. I can sense you are trying to cheer me up.
I don't think that's... Yeah, I don't think that's it. Let's talk about it. Say, MiiYu-chan, your information systems are based off a shared learning model, aren't they?
That is correct. Why do you ask?
Well then, why don't we talk? Let's discuss what your purpose could be.
Nataliya!
Okay, MiiYu. Give these grey cells something to work with.
Searching databases for bookmarked information. I was kidnapped along with the rest of you, despite not being a candidate. Perhaps I was simply mistaken for a candidate.
But thinking about it logically, you don't exactly resemble anyone else here, not even remotely.
Then maybe I traveled with one of you as a domestic servant. Then, while my master was being kidnapped, I kicked up such a fuss that the kidnappers decided to take me too.
That seems even more unlikely. But if that's what happened, wouldn't that make you a hero of sorts, Nyan?
Hero. Okay, how about this? What if...
Spend more time talking about various theories before heading back to your room. Looks like that conversation ended excellently. Yay. Did I do everyone now from the first one? No, I didn't do Grace. Okay, I think she's the last one. Yep, can confirm. Grace is the last one. Alright, let's do this. Knock knock. Come in! Ah! Blaze! I didn't expect to see you at this hour! You caught me a good time though. I was just about to sleep. I need less than 10 hours of sleep a day and I end up struggling to keep my balance while skating. I see. I just wanted someone to talk to, I guess. You seem like a cool person to be around. Someone to talk to? In that case, may I volunteer Sigmund? Sigmund is fine and all, but he talks a little too much sometimes. Also, was that a pun? Cool person to be around? I was wondering when you'd notice. Do you like puns, Grace? If pun making qualifies as a hobby, I'd put it right up there with programming. The skills it's required are quite different though. Also, Dash threatened to stop teaching me how to brew coffee earlier when I made a few puns. Reminded me a lot of them. They weren't particularly fond of puns either. Ah, your parents. I see that you're no longer afraid of them. Well, you're not wrong. In fact, I was never really afraid of my parents. It's not quite the impression I was getting. It's true though. I also have no desire to become a hypocrite. I understand how it must look. Me, relying on Dash. You'll be fine as long as you don't become dependent on him. It's different to the relationship you have with your parents. Well, in that case, do not worry. I am serious about my war for independence. It's not like I'll start calling him Daddy anytime soon. I suppose that's a relief. Ugh, my parents. They really are such hypocrites. Oh? Did I ever tell you why I originally wanted to become a programmer? It was to follow in my parents' footsteps. Seeing the amazing things they could do while I watched them through that tiny slit in the door, I was certain that was the sort of life I wanted for myself. But this world, it's not exactly the most accommodating one, is it? I can sympathize to an extent. When you're defined so heavily by your talent, sometimes it's easy to forget that it's just a label. You are correct. The pianist used to say the same thing. You know what he added on top? If something's wrong, change it. Very simple advice, but also very effective. I feel as though I should think carefully about what I say next. Is that why you declared war on your parents? Exactly. To get them to see the light, I thought I'd do anything. But at the end of the day, they're still my parents. They only want what's best for me. In hindsight, it was the world itself that I should have declared war on. The world itself? This world, it's rotten to the core. I'm an excellent singer, and I'm almost as good of an ice skater. But I'm certain there are hundreds, if not thousands of other people that are more suited to the role of ultimate singer. And the reason will be simple. They care about singing more than me. Isn't music supposed to be about passion? Absolutely. So I refuse to struggle any longer. When we succeed in our applications, I will shine a new light on the world of music, and show that mere talent isn't everything. Is that a promise? Yes. Rally the troops! This means war! Yes! First try! Ow! I hit my desk. Oh, before you leave, Blaze, here, I've been meaning to, get someone else's opinion on this. Oh? Is that... Yes, I'm trying a new blend for my mocha. I didn't want to admit it earlier, but mochas are my favorite type of coffee. Just don't tell Dash, okay? Oh, definitely not. You drink the mocha, and struggle to keep your clothes attached to you, but again! Stop stripping! Looks like I still have a bit of time. I think I'm done, though. Alright, and last of all, I think Grace.
spending the afternoon digging through a mess of Tetris. Today gave me serious flashbacks to my childhood.
And some Grace? Sure.
Oh, just listen to me reminiscing about Tetris here. I'm sure you have other things you wish to discuss instead. Yes? Let's go for a stroll.
While walking, you spend some time talking about various Tetris strategies with Grace. It seems you and Grace have gotten a little closer.
Say, Nataliya, why would someone like you want to spend time with me?
What do you mean, Grace-chan?
I mean, I'm boring. Utterly unremarkable. Yet, I'm taking up time you could be spending with someone else.
Well, for what it's worth, I think you're pretty amazing.
Really?
Hi! There's no need to justify yourself to me, Grace. Or to anyone. You're highly talented and an amazing person to be around. So just let your character speak for itself, Nyan.
I don't know what to say. Do you always psychoanalyze everyone you meet?
No, not always. Out loud, anyway.
At least let me make you a coffee for your troubles. I was just about to head to the cafe anyways.
You walk with Grace to the cafe and watch as she prepares 2 cups of coffee. As you drink, you barely resist the urge to toss the cup out of your hand and sprint out the door and rip your clothes off or whatever. Barely.
Now this is the life. Kinda reminds me of my first job. Did you know I used to work as an ambassador? So many diplomatic necessities involved there.
You worked as an ambassador?
I'll take that as a no. It's a little known fact about me since it was very brief, a mere blip on the radar. I was very young when this happened. It was before my parents ever found out about my singing. And it barely rates a mention on my Wikipedia page.
You have a Wikipedia page?
I'm sure we all do. Have you never tried Googling yourself?
Last time I tried Googling myself, my family died. Okay, I'm kidding.
Being an ambassador was great. I got my own key card, and everyone was so nice to me. There was free food wherever I went, and I got to rub shoulders with some of the most powerful people in the world. And the ultimate pianist would drop by every so often too. We both traveled a lot, you see. Him to his concerts, and me so I could represent my country's interest. But then the questions started coming. What's your country doing on this issue? When will your country start fixing that issue? And on they went. It was as though I was being suffocated. I could only ever toe the country line. And that meant I could never change anything. Yet everywhere I went, all I saw was devastation and pain. What's the point in running things on talent alone when it causes nothing but misery to so many people? And that's when I decided I would quit being an ambassador and cause change to happen from within. But to you, I probably sound like I'm spouting idealistic nonsense.
Aye, definitely not. I'm very impressed with your vision, Grace-chan.
Thank you. Say, Nataliya, I was wondering, do you think that tolerance can exist? If it tolerated the intolerant?
I should be careful what I say here. What do you mean?
It's not the most straightforward thing, is it? It's asking if true tolerance can exist. If we also tolerate things that shouldn't be tolerated.
So we stand by and do nothing while evil acts are being committed?
Yep. What do you think?
Honestly, I'm not too sure. It would depend on the type of response and the degree of the wrong.
I see. I guess I should have expected this response from the Ultimate Warden. Well, thank you for sharing your views, and for listening to me.
Not a problem, Grace. Anytime. Ended well. Okay, that's not the best one. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If we're to create a truly tolerant society, there are some things that we just can't, we can't just accept.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Okay, there you go. Okay, I just didn't know what she meant. When she explained it, I
Do you have any immediate
understood.
plans for when you're made head of the law enforcement family?
You mean if?
No. When? You can't move forward with a defeatist mindset.
Right you are, Grace-chan. I'm not sure, honestly. I guess there's a lot of prison systems worldwide that need to be reformed, but each country has different issues. A strategy that may work in one place may completely fail in another, and then everyone will start looking for someone to blame.
Wow, that sounds tough. It seems we'll both have our hands full. But somehow, I feel more confident knowing you'll be there by my side, as a fellow world leader.
You and me both, Grace. You spend more time talking about your aspirations over some cups of coffee. Free time. so I still have a bit of time. Right, I'll tell you what, I was gonna do Nataliya last, but like, she's probably last in the video when I'm editing this. But I'm gonna quickly do hers, and I'm gonna see if I can do the whole free time event with this whole pancake just shoved in my mouth, so... Okay, maybe not the whole pancake, it's just enough, but... I'm not worried about you. Oh? I'm just a personal confused activity for oneself. Gosh, it really was, I got myself back from there. I did I checked. I'm trying to put it around the organization. Oh, I can't say that. Why is it going to this I can't do this. Oh. I can't do this. I just can't do it. Not only is it so, like, spitting crumbs everywhere. Not only is it difficult, but oh boy. Not only is it difficult, but also just resisting the urge to actually take a bite is, and like swallow it, is really hard. Just know if there's anything you want to discuss, I'm here for you. Blaze? Yes? This is serious. She's not using an honorific. Hypothetically speaking, have you ever done something you deeply regretted? We all have. But what about if you thought it was the right thing to do at the time? So you acted against your better judgment. You're talking about a situation where the right thing to do conflicts with your better judgment. Those situations are quite uncommon, but yes, they happen. Then of course I have. My students are a mixed bag, yes, but I like to think that I would be willing to do anything for them. To me, that's what being a teacher is all about, putting your students above yourself. There is no worse feeling than letting someone down when they look up to you. I've been there before and I never want to feel those sorts of emotions again. Sordiska, your situation wasn't hypothetical, was it? Deja vu. Just forget I said anything, Jan. I should think carefully about what I say here. Down. You knew I'd see through that. See through what exactly? I've no idea what you're talking about, Jan. That's your faux ignorance. It's obvious you're uncomfortable pretending not to know things. You're not just going to let this slide, are you? Of course not. You're my friend and fellow candidate. We have to watch out for each other. Oh fuck, I skipped it, sorry. Okay, she just went, okay. It's ... Alright, I didn't miss anything, great. Alright. Okay, I'll place my faith in you. Recently, I haven't been able to stop myself thinking about... her. Her? My Emoto-san. What was she like? Oh, Blaze. You are such a weeb. Hey! Says you! I can't believe I even brought this up. I sort of keep it to myself. I've ruined this whole tragic FTE just by eating a fucking pancake. God damn it. Nah, don't. Keeping things bottled up will only hurt you in the long run. I suppose you're right. I say the same to my prisoners. It would be foolish of me not to follow my own advice. She always had a weak constitution. Our family life was quite tough on her. We were all busy, never had any time, and on occasion we would have to do certain things that no little girl should ever have to see. Such was life in the world's most powerful law enforcement family. I was the closest to her. She never turned her back on me, even as others turned their backs to her. I can only hope she's doing okay. I see. Is this why you were silent at the dinner table? Were you thinking about her? I've said more than enough. It's okay. I won't press for any further details, Nat-chan. Just know I'll be here for you whenever you're ready to talk. Blaze?
Promise me, if it ever feels like I'd resort to murder in order to escape, promise me that you'll stop, Blaziken. Murder would be quite unbecoming of a family head. Hopefully it won't come to that. Hi, but this sort of situation is unpredictable. Things can change in the blink of an eye. In exchange, though, Blaziken, I'll be keeping an extra close eye on you too. Oh, fat look good that did. Let it not be said that a warden doesn't watch out for her prisoners. I appreciate the sentiment. When all was said and done, you quickly retreated back to the cafeteria. Looks like it's still a bit of time. Right, so...
I see it, and now it's all within my reach.